in a squirrel jump and climbed my leg. I have my little hat on. A book we published in 2023 about federalism. Checking the mic. Humble elephant?
Humble lion.
Humble lion. Sorry,
Humble lion.
Yes, it's the humble lion.
Can we do a quick mic check? Hello, hello.
Hello, do you hear me?
Hi guys, my name is Erin and I'm the PSSA's VP Comms and I'm here with my chords, Sarah and Isabel. Today we're going to be interviewing one of McGill's most beloved poli-sci profs.
We'll be asking him a bunch of questions about political science, teaching, and life at McGill.
Let's go! We're here right now in the Labyrinth of Ferrier and we're gonna go find Professor Béland. Let's go.
Rumor has it he's somewhere in this building. I heard he dwells in the basement.
We found the stairs, but Sarah's trying to hit the elevator, but we're trying to get our steps in. Right. Oh, didn't we just see 104 happening over there? Like, what? This is unlabeled.
A few moments later.
Guys, I think we finally found it.
Hello.
Yay! We found him. All right, so we're gonna hit you with some rapid fire questions, but let's go for a stroll.
I'm ready.
First question.
Yeah.
Favorite book?
De la démocratie en Amérique by Alexis de Tocqueville, the 2 volumes.
Oh wow. Okay.
I read that when I was an
it so
undergrad student, and this is just something that shaped the way I think, and also my interest in U.S. politics, because I'm interested in U.S. politics, not just Canadian politics, really was shaped by that book.
Okay. This could be controversial. Favorite province?
Favorite province? You know, I actually was born and raised in Quebec, so I would say Quebec, but I also live in Alberta and Saskatchewan, and I'm very fond of Saskatchewan.
Okay, so you know all these provinces. Least favorite province?
The least favorite province?
Yeah, least favorite.
My least favorite province?
Yeah.
Well,
you got to make a choice.
Yeah, I suppose it's a province I've never visited, so it's hard for me to. I've never been to Newfoundland and Labrador, so that's a province I will actually love to visit, but I've never been there.
Yeah.
So it's not my least favorite. It's the one I know the less.
If you weren't a political scientist,
yeah,
what would you be doing?
You know, I could be maybe a journalist.
Okay.
Something I was thinking about when I was younger, and obviously that's not what I decided to do in the end. But I interact a lot with journalists because I give a lot of media interviews. So in a way, I still do something with the media, but I'm being interviewed rather than the one doing the interviews.
Favorite Montreal neighborhood?
Well, it's not very original, but I love the Plateau Mont-Royal.
Favorite cafe?
You know, I don't drink coffee.
Oh.
I drink tea, but not that much. But I don't drink coffee at all, and so I don't hang out that much in coffee shops. But actually, like. You know, just when I go with people here, I like on Sherbrooke here there is the this coffee shop, the Elephant. What's the? I forgot the name of it.
I don't know if I've pigeon.
Can we stop somewhere?
Yes.
Yeah. Another question: are you a cat or dog person?
Well, I was a dog person until we adopted a cat.
Oh.
And now I switched side, I suppose, because I still love dogs. I love animals in general, but now we have a cat, Yoda. A tuxedo cat, yeah. And we adopted him at the SPCA in November 2019, not long before the pandemic.
Okay.
And so we you know, with my wife and I, we spent a lot of time with Yoda during the pandemic working from home.
Big Star Wars fan?
Yes, absolutely. I grew up with Star Wars, the first 3 movies, because I'm old.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time I went to watch the first Star Wars movie with my mother, and that was a very long time ago. But yes, I'm a Star Wars fan.
Okay, this leads into my next question. Favorite decade?
Favorite decade?
Yep.
Well, that's maybe related to my age and all that, but I would say the 1990s for me. I mean, if in terms of my own life and what I did, and I traveled a lot. I did my PhD in Paris, so I lived there, and I spent time in the US when Bill Clinton was president and all that. So I would say the 1990s.
1990s. A lot of fun fashion in the 90s.
That's right, yes.
Did you have the mullet?
No.
No?
Not at all.
Winter or summer in Montreal?
Oh, that's a very good question. You know, my favorite season is actually fall. I think the colors are really beautiful, but I love winter. I love the snow. And I find the summer in Montreal to be a bit too humid for my taste. But I like, June and September more than July and August.
Fair. City life or country life?
Definitely city life.
City life.
I love big cities. When I travel, I try to visit as many big cities as I can. I love nature too, but I'm more of a city person. Humble elephant?
Humble lion.
Humble lion. Sorry,
Humble lion.
Yes, it's the humble lion, exactly.
What do you order at the Humble Lion?
Chai latte. I don't drink coffee. I love chai tea. And so I will drink chai latte there. But again, I don't go to coffee shops that often because I don't drink coffee.
Are you a warm chai person or an iced chai?
Well, in summer, iced, but in winter or even the fall, it will be warm. Yes, absolutely.
I agree with that.
Yes. And I like my chai tea with sugar in it, quite sweet.
Oh, you like it sweet?
Yes.
I like my coffee and tea extremely unsweet.
Okay, yes.
No sugar.
Yeah. But, I actually, so in terms of coffee, I drank coffee when I was a PhD student. I live in Paris.
Yeah.
And coffee was much cheaper than tea or hot chocolate.
But also better.
Yes.
Than in Canada.
That's right. And so I remember the coffee was like less than 4 francs, and tea or hot chocolate will cost 25 francs. So that was a huge difference.
Huge jump, yeah.
And for a poor student, because I was poor, then that was the way to socialize there, especially the coffee culture is very, very strong there. So I drank coffee at the time, but I basically stopped drinking coffee as I age, I suppose.
I have another question.
Hello. And so, but now I've not, so I've not been drinking coffee for a long time now. I would say for at least, 15, 20 years.
Do you have a favorite hobby?
Yes. So photography. I take a lot of pictures of Montreal and when I travel, and I post that online. And also, I used to host a classical music show when I live in Saskatoon for 9 years. So I love Western classical music, I suppose. So I know quite a bit about, the composers, the different works and all that. Although I'm not a musician, I attend a lot of concerts every year.
Are you involved at all with the McGill's music?
Not directly, no. I've been involved with some ensembles over the years, serving on boards and so forth.
Cool.
And I know some people at the School of Music, but life. I mean, my days are pretty packed already.
Yeah,
so
I'm sure.
But I would like to do more.
Thank you. Oh, absolutely. Do you have a favorite photo
Favorite photo?
that you've taken?
Oh, there are quite a few. Come on in.
Thank you.
I can show you one maybe that's in my office.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
When I live in Saskatoon, so I took a lot of pictures of the river in winter and in summer and all year long. And so I really like this picture here.
Wow.
All right, that was actually, so I was working in the Diefenbaker Canada Center. And here you don't see it, but it's actually the the grave of John Diefenbaker.
Oh, you talked about that in class.
That's right, who's buried near the river in Saskatoon, and also near my office. That's a picture of the University Bridge in Saskatoon with the little boat here, tour boat, and the beautiful clouds, because Saskatchewan is known as the land of living skies because of all its beautiful, all the beautiful clouds. And that's a picture of the University of Saskatchewan, actually, when I worked there.
Wow.
So I love to take campus pictures, and here too at McGill, of course, but these are pictures that when I left the University of Saskatchewan in late 2018, they gave me that as a present. Yes, they framed some of the pictures. Yes, so I love photography.
Ourselves comfortable in your office, we want to shift into some deeper conversations and learn a bit more about your work and your journey. Mm-hmm. One thing students are always curious about is what their professors are working on outside the classroom. Could you walk us through your current research? What projects or ideas are you focusing on right now? And what originally pulled you into this area of political science?
Yes, so I'm a specialist of public policy. So I study the politics of public policy. And public policy is what governments or states do and don't do, decide not to do. And so I've done a lot of work on the politics of social policy in different areas, healthcare, but also unemployment insurance and pensions. Mm-hmm. And I've done a lot of work also on federalism and public policy in Canada, but also in comparative perspective. So I've studied quite a few other countries, comparing them with Canada, or also working on other countries alone. Like I've done a lot of work on the United States. For example, with some colleagues, I published a book called Obamacare Wars, which is about the politics of Obamacare in the 50 states. And I've also published a lot about the role of ideas in the politics of public policy. So that's a bit more theoretical. And right now I work on a lot of different things. For example, we have a paper we're writing with some European colleagues about the potential trade-offs in terms of the rise of military spending, defense spending that we are seeing now for NATO countries, including Canada, and social policy spending. And so this is something that we are working on right now. And there are many other projects, but I suppose that we don't have time to include them all.
That's all right. Well, maybe for another time. Is this a direction you always expected to go, or did it evolve over time?
Yeah, so initially when I applied for a PhD program, I was interested in social policy and public policy, but in historical and comparative perspective. I always love history, historical analysis, and so there is a tradition within both sociology and political science to study public policy and politics from an historical and comparative perspective. So that was really the starting point of all my work. Even if now I'm the director of the McGill Institute for the Study of Canada, people associate me with Canada, and I do a lot of media interviews about Canada, and I publish about Canada. My perspective is always in a way or another, comparative and historical in nature.
Wonderful. Thank you. What made you want to teach at McGill? Was there something about the university or Montreal? I know you grew up here that drew you here specifically.
Yeah, so I was headhunted. I was basically asked to apply to a position to become director of the McGill Institute for the Study of Canada. So the interview process took place in 2018. I'd considered McGill before. I thought, McGill is obviously a great university with excellent students, but and a great international reputation. But really, it's the position of director of MISC, so this institute, that drew me back to Montreal.
So, as the director of MISC, I'm sure you can answer this question. What do you think is a big misconception about the Canadian political system, and why do you think that is?
Well, I think the language that we use to talk about Canadian politics sometimes is borrowed from the United States, right? So we, for example, talk about, prime minister or premier elect, and we talk about branches of government. But in fact, this is U.S. language that doesn't really fit well into our institutional framework, which is borrowed from the United Kingdom and as, of course, a different language. So often journalists or even sometimes political scientists, they use US terminology to talk about Canada, but I think that can be misleading.
Okay, perfect. Shifting gears a little bit, we wanted to talk about this because it's very impressive. You have a near perfect rating on Rate My Prof, 4.9 out of 5. Did you expect to become one of the most beloved profs at McGill? What is your secret to making political science resonate so well with students?
Yeah, well, so ratemyprofessors.com is not really a scientific survey, as you know. But, I had no real clear expectations about McGill. I knew that we had strong students both at the undergraduate level and at the graduate level when I came here for my job interview, because I never studied at McGill when I was an undergrad or graduate student, but I knew the reputation of the university, and some of the people I met during the interview process, they told me our undergrad students are really, really excellent. And I think I enjoy teaching at McGill partly because I think we have a great student body, and and I enjoy teaching to first and second year students, but also to students who take my 400 level classes. But no, I had no expectations of winning any award or being particularly popular, but I'm happy that it seems that there is no movement to push me out.
You receive a lot of love from the students of McGill for sure. And connecting to that, you also have a 94% would take again rating. That's higher than most people's approval ratings in Canadian politics. How does it feel to be more popular than some politicians?
Well, politicians are just not popular in general. If you look at different occupations, physicians, scientists, and teachers are much more popular than politicians, who are normally at the bottom of the scale or close to the bottom in terms of public perception. So I don't think it's that hard to be more popular than, say, François Legault or Doug Ford.
Yeah, so shifting gears a bit from the classroom to your broader impact as a scholar. So I've heard you were recently elected a fellow of the Royal Society of Canada. Congratulations. One of the highest honors for scholars in the country. As someone who researches Canadian politics and directs the McGill Institute for the Study of Canada, what does this recognition mean for your work and the direction of Canadian political scholarship today?
Yeah, so the Royal Society of Canada is, you have to be elected by your peers. So yes, it's a great honor, but it's also a place where people work together to actually organize different events, to do what we call knowledge translation, try to bridge the gap between scholars and the rest of society. And that's something I'm passionate about. I write a lot I have a column in Policy Magazine now. I give a lot of media interviews. I like to reach out to ordinary people also on social media. And I think it is very important for scholars to do that. And the Royal Society, part of its mission is actually to bridge the gap between academia and the so-called real world.
That's interesting. So what do you see as the most valuable opportunities that MISC offers for students who want to get involved in not just research, maybe even policy conversations or policy scholarship about Canada?
First of all, we have a minor in Canadian Studies and a major in Canadian Studies, and people can look up at our website at mcgill.ca/MISC to know more about our minor and major in Canadian Studies. We also have a minor in Quebec Studies. Many people don't know about these programs, but if you're looking for a minor or major, please go online and check these programs out. We also have different scholarships for graduate and undergraduate students. And finally, we have all these free public events. And again, you can go on our website, sign up to our mailing list, or follow follow us on social media, and then you can attend all these great events that are typically followed by a nice reception, buffet, food, drinks, and you can network and meet people from within but also outside of academia, because the goal of MISC, of our institute, is also to bridge the gap between the study of Canada from an academic standpoint and then the rest of society and people in politics, journalists, but also ordinary people who are passionate about Canada and are concerned or interested in its future.
You've had such a rich career from what I'm hearing, and your career ranges from publishing widely to leading MISC and teaching thousands of students. Looking back at all of that, what do you think is your biggest lesson that you've learned along the way?
Well, I think it's always hard to take criticism, but when you're in academia, you have to learn how to deal with this, because student evaluations are anonymous, and also the reviews you get when you submit a journal article or a book manuscript are also anonymous. So you don't know who's reviewing your work, and sometimes they can be quite critical. People heard about the infamous reviewer 2, R2, and sometimes they can be quite harsh. Sometimes it's legitimate. The criticisms are I think, useful, but sometimes, you have to take that with a grain of salt and say, well, this reviewer didn't have a very good day, or is angry for something that, is beyond your control. So you have to move on and keep doing what you think is good and what you think is right.
Thank you. We certainly appreciate everything that you do for your students. Thank you so much again for allowing us into your office and giving us the chance to explore both your work and your journey. This conversation has been incredibly meaningful, and we really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Well, it was a pleasure to see you and to answer your questions. Take care.
Want to see more faculty features or videos like these?
Follow McGill PSSA and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Comment down below who you want to see next. Professor, do you mind giving us a little room tour?
Yeah, so these are some of the books I've read or that I especially like. I have other books, but they are not here. They are in boxes or somewhere at home. Now I read a lot online, but of course, when I started my career, that wasn't really an option. So I bought quite a few books. And this is divided into different sections. So here it's the scholarship mostly on public and social policy. And here it's the United States, because I publish a lot on US politics. And here this is more about Canada. And here this is more my own publications, because I like to keep hard copies of my work. So for example, this is a book we published in 2023 about federalism and social policy at University of Michigan Press. And so, I keep copies of my books, and also sometimes, I participate in a jury of a book prizes. So I receive a lot of books from publishers, and then I have to read these books, and then we assess them. So some of these books were also given to me by publishers in the context of basically competitions, book prizes.
What about all of these?
These are exams that I have to keep for a certain period of time. So these are old exams in case someone comes, and students want to see their exam copy, their final exam, and even if it's a year later, so I keep these copies in my office. And so because I have a lot of students, I have a lot of exam copies in my office.
Last thing I'll point out, which I noticed while we were interviewing.
Okay. Oh yes, that's right. I put that in my office.
Professor of the Year.
That was 2 years ago already. Yes.
It's nothing.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. I like to display that in my office. I have also a strange obsession with squirrels and rodents. So they will get like 5 cents per tail. Right, so this is actually Julia Johnson, who gave me that cap, my colleague in the department. Right, so they will go to shoot them, and then farmers will reward them based on the number of gophers they will kill. But of course, and you can see here even there is a little rodent and and a squirrel. when I was at the University of Saskatchewan, so we had a lot of gophers, which are underground squirrels, right? And they will come out and pop up in the spring. So there was a competition in our building, the Diefenbaker Canada Center, who will spot the first gopher of the spring.
That's funny.
Yes, and then when we will identify the first gopher, then we'll post a notification on my door saying name the first gopher of the year, and then say that Rick was seen on that date at that time, near that tree.
Did you ever have
building.
a favorite gopher?
I think I like them all.
Okay,
but in Saskatchewan, farmers hate gophers, right? And because they, of course, ruin their fields. So the native Saskatchewanians, people from Saskatchewan who grew up in a farm, they didn't share my love for gophers.
Well, somebody has to show the love.
That's right. That's a picture I took just on my way to campus.
Oh,
very close,
wow.
yes.
That's
A
so
very close
cool.
range, yes.
Wow.
But again,
It didn't jump away.
No, and once I was taking pictures in the Square Saint Louis in the park, and a squirrel jumped and climbed my leg, and then on my side, and actually landed on my shoulder. And I filmed it. I did film it.
But the squirrels also love you.
That's right. Exactly. Yes.
Squirrel whisperer.
Maybe.